Hello guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about demons and shinobis. So let us begin, shall we, ladies and gents? We would currently see Homura, as in, I meant not really Homura, but more like the entirety of a team, what was it called again? Let me just double check. I meant the entirety of like Crimson Squad would be watching Todoroki fighting as she'd be wielding both the blade known as, or the two swords known as the Asaka sword, aka the sword that's made out of Venanta, the, I guess you could say serpent, or I guess you could say Hydra from Indian mythology, and the El Pillar, or the sword that's made from Ashira, not to be confused with Asara. Ashira, as in the fertility goddess from, I think it was, yeah, the mythology that the demon known as, I think it was, let me just double check. Moloch, yeah, the demon Moloch came from. As while she was fighting, she would be fighting with both these swords in hand, doing it with grace, almost similar to that of, I guess, you could say Ushiwakamaru uh, not Fate Stay Night, I meant Fate Grand Order, or more specifically, the Babylon Singularity, or in this case, the anime, which, by the way, is still pretty good. God damn it! Wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on. Ash will be firing off blasts of flames and water each time she attacks. As while doing so, all of the members of the ninja, or at least all of the ninja-based girls, are currently watching this with surprised looks, including that of Kiria, aka Izuku's dad in this universe. As Haruka would say, interesting. She actually has a similar fighting style to you, Homura. She would say, yeah, but, honestly, she's probably not as good as me, she would say. As, while saying this, another group, specifically Shiki would say from the Gessen Squad, wow, not, not bad. In fact, it's kind of like, really cool, she would say. As well saying this, she would look towards one of her, friends, specifically that of Yumi, or Yumi would say, yeah, in fact, it seems to be a great swordplay. Even though those swords look really heavy. In fact, it looks even heavier than yours, similar to yours, Murakumo. As when she said that, she would say, yeah, impressive, she would say. As Minori would say, oh, she would just be watching the fight between her, or more specifically, Todoroki, and the now changed Dogen, as she would be still be petting the now revealed, Pascal. Technically, it's not really Pascal. It's named Nameless in the game, in DX2, but still, as the members of the, I was about to say Homer squad. No, I meant the Hanzo squad, specifically that of Asuka would say, hey, Izuku. As Izuku would say, huh? What is it, Asuka? As she would say, well, you did say that she has a demon partner, right? As he would say, yes, all of my members of my team also have demon partners. Well, in her case, she has two. As she would say, wait, really? Then where are, as she would say, or he would say, well, she rarely brings them out, unless if it's really necessary. Most of the time, she usually uses her fighting skills most of the time. As while hearing this, the Yagi would say, impressive, even while fighting those things. In fact, wait, you said you fought gods, as he would say, fallen gods, but still technically called demons, but yes. As she would say, and she fights them, not even using her demons, even a few times, as Rex would say, I meant Izuku would say, well, yeah. In fact, the only times that I remember her using demons, or her personal demons, were back during the war and back in our younger days when I was still training to be a demon summoner. As when hearing this, Katsuragi would say, "Dang, she must have been really strong." As he would say, "Yeah, consider as the best of the best." Just like me. Well, kind of. She can still be, I guess you could say, a bit of an asshole. As when hearing that, Hibari would say, "That doesn't sound nice." As you'd say, "Yeah." Anyway, as while we would continue on seeing Todoroki fighting you know, the now turned Gojen, as we would see her wielding that of El Pillar, well, or more specifically El Pillar in a much more, imagine something like Malekith, as in Malekith from Elden Ring, as she would be stabbing it into the ground, as she would say, you survived that attack. Impressive. Especially since that you're using a fragment of, even when you're just using a fragment of Yotevate, she would say. As she would be swinging her blade, as while saying this, now Yotevate Dogen would say, "You dare try and interfere, child of man," he would say, as the dragon-like head, this part, as it would start glowing a dark flame-like color, as it would start charging up an attack, while the other head, resembling that of a fly, would start charging up another attack, as he would say, "I will end you." After saying this, the two attacks would slowly start merging, creating something that resembles that of plasma, as you'd say, "Plasma! Oh God!" Screaming that attack, the two blasts would fire off. As when she saw this, she would say, "I guess this is a time for me to show you my power." As after saying this, she would flip her blade, as she would say this, "Now, come forth." As when she said that, she would say, "Moloch." When saying these words, a large demon would slowly start emerging from the ground where she stabbed her blade, El Pillar, as a beast that resembles that of a man with, I guess you'd say, a minotaur-like body, mostly the top half, as it would slowly start revealing that it has a snake-like bottom half with several furnaces burning from below. As the now revealed Moloch, or at least Moloch Alter, as I call him, because in the game, when he was released, which I didn't know at the time, honestly, I really wished I was able to pull him. I really wanted to pull him, but unfortunately at the time, I spent all of my gems on stupid shit. God. I wish I got him, but unfortunately I didn't get him. Especially since Moloch was one of my favorite demons back in the day. Especially this design, which came from, like, I think it was back during Persona 5 days, or during the Persona 5 days version. But honestly, I really wish I could get him. Anyway, as the now flaming beast known as Moloch would reveal itself, it would start spewing out flames from everywhere across its body, as the joints would slowly start revealing flames, as the, I guess you could say, latches would start opening up, revealing flames, as the tip of his tail, which is that of a sort of fire hose, I guess you could say, as it starts spewing out fire, as he would say, "Prepare to be destroyed." After saying this, the beast known as Moloch would start pointing his tail towards the now Yote Vate the now Yote Vate wait for a second. Now Yote Vate Dogen, or just Dogen, as I'm going to shorten it. As he starts pointing it towards the enemy, as he would say these words: "Be burned, be turned to dust." After saying these words, he would say the name of his attack: Heartless Flame. As the blast of fire would slowly start rushing towards Dogen, as it burns part of its face, or more specifically, half of the face of Dogen's, I guess you could say, um, sort of godly form, burning the side where I guess you could say the goat slash, actually, yeah, goat like skull head with the bird, and I guess you could say greenish dragon and, scorpion tail was, as it burns that half. As the demonized Dogen would start screaming from the, I guess you could say, the demon like head in the middle, as you'd say, "Ye pagan god, how dare you!" As you would say, "You call me a pagan god. You're the one who's pagan. You who usurped me and the rest of my pantheon." As after saying these words, he would slowly start rushing up, as he would say, "I will destroy you." As Todoroki would say this. "Very well then, I will allow you this," she would say, looking towards Dogen. As she would say this, "Are you prepared to meet my other friend?" After saying these words, she would say, "Now, come forth." As she would stab her Yosaka blade, or Yosaka sword, towards the ground, slamming it, saying the name of the demon, revealing that of a demon with bluish hair, as she would be wearing that of a purple-ish, actually let me just double check if it's purple, somewhat purplish clothing, as she would be wielding that of a sword, as she would be riding upon a piece, or some sort of cloud that's just essentially just like a water. Like if you took a lake out of the water and it's just floating. As she would say the demon's name, saying, "Come forth, Vivian," revealing that of the demon herself. As Vivian would look at the demon right in front of her, saying, "It really has been a while, Moloch." As Moloch would say, "It really has been a while, Vivian. Now, I may ask this. Will you use your blade to slay that beast?" As she would say, "Yes, for all of his crimes. His crimes. From taking away our divinity. From taking away our friends. We shall defeat him." As after saying these words, she will be wielding the sword, as she would say this, "For I am Vivian, the hero maker." As after saying these words, everybody was a bit surprised. Well, except for Izuku and, and, and the rest of his team, as she would say this, "Now, face the wrath of the witch, not the witch, face the power of the Lady of the Lake." She would say these words as she would activate her skill. After saying these words, she would say her skill's name, known as Teardrop. Saying this word, the sword now revealing itself as Excalibur. And yeah, this is actually Excalibur. Unlike in most media, which is that of the Sword of Stone, that's not Excalibur, that's Caliburn. So, as she would strike towards the beast known as Dogen, or at least used to be Dogen, as she would slash, creating blast of pure water, or in this case, ice. And this is where we're gonna be ending off this episode. Sorry, guys. So, yeah, bye bye.